WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN, ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it all. Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. I always say welcome back because we ain't going anywhere. We're still here on this September the 12th. Ron Wong is still here.
But we want to welcome back all of our listeners.
Yeah, we're glad all six of you are back out there again. So, and of course, Greg Ratliff is our show producer, and he's taking care of everything. And we've had some, rolling along as we've moved here talking about crappie fishing, and then we talked to the Brad Knight out of Lansing, Tennessee, which is over in East Tennessee.
Just west of Knoxville,
yes,
as he says.
Near Oak Ridge. Near Oak Ridge,
yeah.
Yes. And,
I've never heard of the place myself.
But I looked it up on the map, and it
what a fine young gentleman,
yeah,
I have to tell you.
Won the Forest Wood Cup, and then, of course, talking about the Darrell Worley Tennessee River Run. It's coming up real soon, all things going on. There's been a change in the, we like to keep up with this young man. I know he doesn't feel young to me, but he'll always be young. But we've watched his career progress from Lake Graham. I think he was, even before that, he was kind of like a part-time fisheries technician, if I'm not mistaken. And then he came here in Region 1 and worked in fisheries, and then went over to the big time over in Nashville where everybody gets all the big money, and became the fisheries director for the TWRA, and now he's moving on to another position, and that's our good friend Bobby Wilson. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody else.
And Ron Wong is sitting in with me as my fishing interpreter. So I don't think he'll use any big words, but
hello, Ron.
How's it going, Bobby?
Bobby,
Good.
Tell us about the new position, and you actually really started as a part-time technician, right? Out of Tennessee Tech, is that right?
I did. I was a part-time fisheries technician up in the Cumberland Plateau area, working on lakes like Watts Bar and Dale Hall and Center Hill, building fishing tractors and sampling and just having a blast.
And then came over here and became the fisheries biologist for our Asian Lakes, Humboldt Hatchery, the Farm Pond Program in Region 1.
Right. Even prior to that, I was a lake manager at Lake Graham.
At Lake Graham, that's right.
While it was being built, I was hired, and so I got to see it from almost the very beginning till it was completed and open to the public. And then my supervisor retired. Probably, I think it was 1984, and I took his place as a fisheries biologist over, like you said, Agency Lakes and Humboldt Fish Hatchery and the Pond Program in West Tennessee.
And you also were there when you and I walked Lake Glen Springs Lake out there. So
that's right.
We know the terrain from walking through out there. But now going up to assistant director, Bobby. I know a lot of folks over here know you. I know you're going to probably change your license plate You got to be more dignified now in your new job. But
the plate you're talking about said fish head.
I know it,
and I've still got that, but I haven't put it on my. I haven't got it on my truck. I got another vehicle recently. Before I got this promotion,
yes,
I got one because I need to replace my other one. But I do have a smallmouth bass license plate that I intend to put on my.
All right.
Okay.
That'll look good.
Well, tell our listeners what your capacity will be as assistant director.
Well, the official responsibilities are that I supervise the not only I still am involved in fisheries because I will supervise the fisheries chief and the fisheries program, as well as the wildlife chief and the program, and the law enforcement chief and the boating and the biodiversity or the non-game program, and then of course the regional managers who are in each of the 4 regions across the state. So
yeah,
it's a big step. I just one of the reasons I did it. I like a challenge.
You do,
and it was not that I was not challenged in fisheries. There was a huge challenge there, but this is an even bigger challenge and somewhat of a change in my career. And I've always liked to be involved with the whole agency, whatever goes on with the agency.
I know it.
I mean, I love the fisheries part. Don't get me wrong; it's in my heart, in my soul. But I just like all of it. Just fascinates me. All the things we do just fascinates me. I've always wanted to be involved with it, so now's my chance.
Was this when you were at Father Ryan High School? Is this what you envisioned Bobby Wilson being up?
No, when I was at Father Ryan, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I wanted to be a pharmacist because I worked at a pharmacy for a couple of years, and it's the only thing I could think of that I wanted to do. So I was a pre-med major.
Oh, really?
My freshman year at Memphis State University.
Yeah?
I went to Memphis State University.
So you went to Memphis State for 1 year?
I was there when the Tigers made it to the NCAA finals with against UCLA.
Oh,
when they had Dr. Larry Keenan, Dr. K.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They had Ryan Robinson, Wes Westfall. I was there when that was going on for my 1 year.
For your 1 year, so then you said, well, you can't top that, so you went to Tennessee Tech.
Well, I had an epiphany. I went to Tennessee Tech to visit my cousin, and he had a catalog on the things you could major in, and it said wildlife management. I said, oh, my gosh, you could major in that? So I did. I switched and went to Tennessee Tech, and then,
the rest is history.
So, history, exactly right.
Well, let's talk about fisheries, Bobby. You've been in that position. How long were you in that position?
Well, I was a chief for a little over 5 years. I was assistant chief for 13 years. So.
Well, let's talk about some of the things during your career. That's 18 years, if I add right. I hadn't got my shoes off, but
very, very good.
That's very good for me, but
very good for Larry.
Yeah, that's very good for Larry. That's for sure. In my age, but who am I talking to again? Oh, yeah, Bobby. Yeah, okay. But I mean. Let's talk about some things that have happened during your time with the fisheries. Bobby, look back on it and tell me some of the things that you look on and say, well, I was glad to be a part of that.
Well, I like to say I was proud to be part of the development of some of the new agency lakes that we've got, like Glen Springs and Lake Graham, and then Gibson County Lake. I was involved with that right before I left, and, of course, Dave Rizzuto took over and handled the big part of that.
Right.
We expanded a lot of our hatcheries and improved a lot of our hatcheries, our warm water and our cold water hatcheries, while I was there, and I'm really excited about that. We made some significant changes there, and that hadn't been done for 30 years, I guess, sort of been neglected, and now they're up and running. We practically doubled the amount of fish that we produce now that we did 15 years ago, and then of course the Florida Bass Stocking Program. Yep. I was involved with that from the very beginning and pushed that, and we got all the details.
It's all paying dividends, too.
Yeah.
Paying big dividends. I have to tell you, the reports out of Glen Springs Lake it is so healthy now, and they're catching a lot of bass out of there, very easy to catch, and some real good ones. And also, there are some huge shell crackers coming out of Glen Springs now. Wonderful lake, great, easy access for a lot of people.
Right. It is a beautiful lake. I've always liked that lake. It's just tremendous lake over there, right next to the Mississippi River.
That's right, and you know, it has everything that somebody would want to fish there. I mean, it has the wood, it has the grass, and it's easy fishing. And even the bank fishing there is very good. Then, in fact, a lot of the people that are catching these shell crackers are catching them right off the bank.
Well, Bobby likes to see them rent boats and things like that over there.
They do that too.
And spend
very
money
well.
at the concession stand. But Bobby, also you mentioned there, as Ron said, you put in all these Florida largemouth bass stockings this year. I think almost 1 million fingerlings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, close to it.
Which is more than what you really expected. 200,000 more, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Well, I think we were planning on 750,000 fingerlings that we needed to stock. We ended up stocking about 900 to 950,000.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, we went over and above it. I attribute that to our guys that work in the program, David Roddy, and all the regional guys that Humboldt. There was a technician from Humboldt that drove all the way from Humboldt down to Louisiana and back in one day, and just to pick up some Florida bass fry from them that we were able to.
Well, it's paying dividends.
Yeah, and it will pay dividends. I mean, over the years, and that's the key. We're talking to Bobby Wilson, our good friend, former fisheries chief for the TWRA, who has now moved into an assistant director's job. And Bobby, I know why you did this year. Do you know?
Tell me why.
Because finally the largemouth bass record was broken, and Bobby said, "Well, I guess I'll move on now." You know, so
can't get any better. Well, I mean, it can be broken again, but the 60-year record will never be broken again. It won't. You know what I mean? It was 60 years that the record is held, and that was broken, and somebody will probably break the record. In the next year or two, I think. But
I think so.
Still,
I think so.
There's a 16 pounder out there.
The general.
Well, there was a 16-pound, 15-ounce one in Browns Creek Lake, and don't know what happened to that.
I don't know what happened to that.
It could be there. If it is, it's a lot bigger, I'm sure.
It's in somebody's wall. It may be on your wall. I didn't think. I don't know.
No, I wish.
Okay. It's not. Well, Bobby, thank you, buddy. Again, congratulations. I know whenever the next person is named, we'll try to hook up with them.
Sure.
I have a suggestion, but I won't say it on the air. But thank you for your friendship over the years. We're proud for you. And,
thank you, Larry.
I know,
thank you, Ron. Great talking to both of y'all.
And
always.
before we let we go, just don't forget fishing rodeos, okay? Whoever steps in.
That won't be forgotten. That's on everybody's mind. We'll never forget fishing rodeos.
Okay, well, let us know when whoever's going to be the fisheries chief over in Region 1 so I can go ahead and bend their ear now that Rizzuto's gone and living on the side of the pool, someplace.
Hopefully we'll know in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks, okay. Just keep the fishing rodeos going, okay?
All right, man. See you guys.
All right, see you, Bobby. All right, let's take a break. Bobby Wilson, Assistant Director for the TWRA. We'll come right back, and we're going to talk about a big event coming up in Memphis coming up. But I might talk a little football with this guy, too, on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.